I think I'm live. Peace, YouTube. Can you see me? Hello, hello. I think I'm on. I never quite know when I'm actually showing. Just put a 13 if you're on. The title kind of caused a glitch, and YouTube wasn't gonna let me do this live, so I don't know if it's actually on or not. So let me know that you're on. Okay. Hey, Kata. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Kita. Hey, Sharon. Perfect. Okay, 3 vol. Hey, hey, hey. Peace, peace, peace. Perfect. Okay. Hey, April. Hey, Tracy. Hi, Emil. Hey, Astrodust. Hey, Sherry. Perfecto. Teresa, Lucinda, the truth. Okay, so peace to the east, the west. You know, I should start saying that. Peace to the west, the east, the south, and the north. Coming to today with a new topic of discussion. Check on it. Wouldn't you think I would change that? You know, I've been saying that for the longest time. Okay. Okay, so I'll wait until a few of you check on in. Let me give a PSA. This subject isn't for little people, okay? We're going to get into some really interesting discussion. So, hey, Sudan. Oh, the war is in Sudan. Arg, I'm sorry. Sending you protection, love, and peace. Yeah, we're going into another direction, right, see? Okay. Okay, so I'll wait until a couple more people check in. Please put a handy dandy like on the video if you're up for the shenanigans and you appreciate the content that I bring. Because God knows, Goddess knows, Willy Wonka always gives me, like, when I went to go post this video, they absolutely were blocking it. So I know that this message is for everyone. So let me again put a PSA out there. This video has content that is inappropriate for little people. When I say little people, I'm talking about maybe the ages where they can understand sexuality and things like that. So I give that all because I remember being a mom on here, still am a mom, and being very selective as to the things I allowed my children to listen to. Sometimes I wanted to listen to the videos, so, you know, I would love a warning. Like, I wish that I had warnings, because cursing and all that stuff, you know, that isn't appropriate for your little ones, especially if it isn't something that you do. So I give you that PSA. Make sure that you are putting your buds on. I said bugs. Put your earbuds on. And if you have little ones, go give them some crayons. You know, I'll try to not keep it too long-winded in certain topics, but just put earbuds on, give them some crayons, put them in the other room, put some baby Einstein on, what have you, things that I do, okay? So that way that you can have time to listen, or put earbuds on so you don't have to worry about them listening. I just really want everyone to be mindful, okay? If you have any people who you would like to listen to, by all means, you should have them watch as well, okay? So New Zealand's in the house. I saw already Sudan is in the house, sending love, protection, and peace to Sudan, our beautiful brethren. We have Barbados in the house, okay? So check on in. And let me announce first, I'll do it at the beginning and end. I know that a lot of times you don't hear it before. So while everyone's coming in, I'll wait until more people come in before we start the conversation. We are underway on our 1 month fast. So if you're gonna join us, and let me say big up to everyone who's come to Patreon to join us for the fast. They're up for the shenanigans and they're about this life. Everybody is trying to activate their technology, their Yoni technology. And for you wonderful sun stars, you can assist in activating that technology as well. Anyway, so if anyone is up for the fast, we're doing a trifecta fast starting. We're gonna do our discussion on Sunday. For some, it's tomorrow. So I still have my boba tea for today. I did a little bit of a fast already. We're starting our fast on tomorrow. So if you'd like to join us, a lot of people have joined us already. It's wonderful, celebrated. We're going to go into the material you wear when you're fasting. We're going to get into the things because we vetted out things that most haven't even, you know, we're on another plane of existence outside the firmament most days. So if you'd like to join us, join our Patreon. You know, our wonderful, our amends on here, they can give you the link. I'm sorry, I don't know. And let me apologize to anyone who doesn't get a response from a message. Do you know, I know someone was really upset that I didn't respond to a message that was a while ago. Let me just say this. I am a mother, okay? I have a life. And it isn't that I'm purposefully not reading mails. I have lots of emails, and just be patient and understand that, you know, to sit down and read a lot of emails, it isn't something that I can do all the time. So I apologize if you feel like I'm neglecting you, I'm not responding to you. It's just because I get a lot of email. And most days after I'm off here or off with Zumbies, I'm enjoying my life with my family. So I apologize if you felt like you were neglected or I didn't listen to your, someone told me that I didn't read their email. I'm sorry. I'm somewhat human when I'm not Andromedan going on my spaceship. So let's get into the conversation. So is everybody ready? Put your little ones aside. I gave you the PSA. If you want to join us on Patreon, we're doing the fast for 4 weeks. We will be doing a water, bone broth, juice fast, and also raw. So if you decide to come, we're going to give a combination of the different materials to wear during your fast, the types of vibrations, the things that we do, and a support system that is off the charts, okay? So join us on there. And also tomorrow, that's when we'll be doing our early day Zoom, going over the different things for the fast. And also this is for activation for your Yoni. So if you have a partner who isn't okay with the activation of your Yoniverse, I don't know what to tell you. So come on in, check on in, everybody. This is FleurBrun, okay? So let me get some water while we start. I got some sunshine, as you see. I got a tan because I'm activating my technology, okay? Big up to the organic, amazing sea stars in here. You fabulous, saucy, beautiful activators. You've got a universe between your legs, and it's why everybody else is trying to be like you. So take it as flattery. Remember when your mother, your auntie, your grandmother said, mimicry or copying is the greatest form of flattery? Okay, it's true. You know, you don't have to be mad at the people that want to beat you. I understand why. After we have this discussion, you'll understand why. Take it to the head. We're taking water to the head. Don't be perverted. I'm not getting there yet. Okay, so let's get into the discussion. Let's get into it. So, y'all, the universe is being activated. Remember, I talked about a couple of months ago, I'm not sure how, I told you that the actual vajayjay, your pocketbook, your yoni, your beaver, your fufun, your vagina, vajayjay, what else you call it? Your, what else is it called? Your, what are the other, snatch? What are all the names we have for this amazing technology that we all have? Poom poom. We've got all, check it on in. So listen, we're getting it in. So remember, everyone, put the little ones aside. I wouldn't want a taco, sugar bowl. Look at all the names in here. Poo-tang. So Venus flytrap, ooh, my situation, hot pocket, coochie, Yoni, Stargate, cookies. I love you all, you amazing. Punani, that's right, Punani Lucky, Wapi, my cookies. So Punani, I know Punani because that's a West Indian state. We say fufun. Anyone in here Creole, we say fufun, okay? Puni. We say puni or fufun. Okay, so my Susie. Susie, empath Susie. Coco. Coco for us in Creole is the wand. So it's in lily pad, coochie. Coco is the wand in French. And our other one, tutun. Tuntun. Look at all these beautiful names. Okay? So we're going to talk about our yoni today, everyone, and the technology that is being suppressed It is a technology, and really in itself, you being able to bring in beings from other worlds makes you the biggest commodity in this plane, in this holographic system. It is the #1 reason why women are being kidnapped. Their wombs are being taken from them, and they're being used for sex magic. Okay, so the juicy fruit, juicy fruit, juicy, nah, 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 nah. Okay, so you got me sniffling already. Y'all are off the chain. I didn't know all these names, right? Sorry if I'm sniffling. I've got the fur apocalypse in my room. My dogs are shedding. I tried everything. So if I'm sniffling, it's because it's fur coming in my nose, and I'm trying to be appropriate about it. The meat tenderizer. Ooh, your yoni is like a converter. Okay. So, thank you. Hey, Quantum Sensei. Hey, Mama, I miss you. That's my beautiful sea star. That's for anyone who doesn't know, that's my amazing. She's an admin on Cypher. We haven't been on Cypher forever, but that's our wonderful sensei. Okay, juice box. Okay, let me get into it. Y'all gotta get me all in tears at this point. Okay, so right now at this point, we are at the activation of the yoni is happening. Okay, so do know that that is why Mother's Day is in May. I'm going to give you a couple things. Are you ready? Let me ask permission. Is it okay if I slightly purple pill you today? You have to give me permission, because again, you know, everything is about giving someone consent. If it's okay for you, if you're coming to this video, I feel like you're giving consent, but if it's okay for me to slightly purple pill you, okay? So you do know that Mother's Day is purposefully put in May. So you know the whole concept of Mayday, right? Mayday, 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 Mayday is like an emergency, right? And also Matrix, Matrix, Matrix. Put it to separate it. It is May, and then tricks, like trick or treat. Okay, so do know that why, and also next month, that's why we're doing our fast. So anyone joining us tomorrow, will be on Zoom talking about our fast, where we're preparing for our stargates to literally activate fully. So our technology called the Woman will actually be fully activated. May, which is the first time you're going to see 4, 5, 6, 7, which is May, which is the 5th month. The 6th, 06, 2023 breaks down to 7. So 5, 6, 7 is happening next month, okay? And we are going to be activating our technology called the Yoni, okay? I'm gonna sneeze. That's what. Sorry, y'all. Again, I have fur everywhere. The fur apocalypse in my house with my furry loved ones. Where are they? They're not here. Oh, they're outside. Okay. So anyway, so next month we are activating our Yoni to be active. Our technology will be fully online. Now, many of you have heard me talk about during the so-called preempt of the apocalypse, the reset, the polar shift. What happens is right before it, there's an attack on females. Usually it's called a witch hunt. Generally, it's called a witch hunt because before the reset, women's technology gets turned on. And I know this for a fact. You know, sometimes I give you things like conjecture, but this is a fact. What happens is that technology is actually being activated. So all of us who are doing our fast for the month, going into Mayday, Matrix, we are going to activate and become online with our technology. And this is also why there's been a conversion and a purposeful trying to hijack the female's space, the female's biodome. Why there's a replication, an attempt to replicate or clone the female, is because this is something that only women can do especially because we carry the ability to be able to bring beings from all different star systems via our womb. We are the technology. That is why we're the most highly suppressed. That's why we're subjugated to forms of marginalization. That's why there's constantly a constant battle of the dark ones coveting women and young women, and also they are harvesting, especially melanated women's wombs. They are taking the wombs out of melanated women. A lot of these women are being utilized or being used to try to source this energy that is naturally happening and occurs with our wombs. We are the technology. We are. And also a little bit of share is that this is why women are used in sex magic. You know, I knew quite a few of the disgusting, diabolical ones who tend to covenant women's magic between their legs. That's what this whole thing, this whole hotep, hotep pimp thing is because these males were unable to activate that within themselves. And if they were higher consciousness, they knew that being able to have a beautiful goddess who loved him, she would enamor him with the zest of her technology. She would share the blessings of her technology. But unfortunately, you have a lot of cave type of very savage, very remedial type of male energy that's perpetuating on the planet. Now, this is not all males. I'm talking about the ones who are perpetuating this whole hotep concept of having multiple wives when they weren't even able to successfully have a healthy, holistic relationship with one. How can you have a host of women and engage in their yoni space when you weren't even able to please one female? Okay, this was a concept that was perpetuated by the CIA. Yes, I said it. The CIA and FBI set out these individuals into our communities, especially the intel community, the conscious community, and they progenerated that to disallow for actual women to activate, because when women are in constant competition, hold on, y'all. Open up my little ones. Oh, I'm strong. See, I'm strong. Woo! That's what a fast does. Go ahead. I could open up a bottle myself. When women are, when a man is constantly dipping into multiple women of different mindsets, he can also, you know, we talked about, let me stay focused because I want to get onto this. The whole hotep concept was purposefully done. It was like, it was purposefully set out there. It was a CIA cooperative with FBI to set out individuals into the stratosphere, what we call the conscious community. And what they were to do is disseminate these principles, these concepts, to subjugate and to suppress the woman and to create a kind of insecurity within the most powerful women, because women who are higher consciousness are always looking to engage with higher fielded males, especially alpha males who are very, very conscientious. They're very conscious, very mindful of the things that they participate in as far as nutrition. So women would, you're always going to attract a lot of women. That's why these hoteps did so well with getting some of the higher quality conscious women, because women who are higher field and consciousness would only be attracted to those type of males. So that's what they were. They were a lure to get these women in the droves and then place them in a position of deficiency. To disallow, they would deactivate their technology by placing low field wands, okay, because we talked about wands, wands that have the ability to also, you know, activate us, but there are wands that actually pull and they actually can turn off the technology. Because remember, a key can go both ways. A key can open a lock, because that's what a wand is. So let me say something beautiful to our males, because I want to let you know how amazing that our healthy males are. You are so beautiful when you're so amazing and have such integrity, are in loving, dedicated, and have a conscientious way to participate with us. But do know that your wands have the ability, just like a key can open a door, it can also lock a door. Okay, so these males were purposefully placed out. Oh, I have a beautiful bird that was looking at me in the window in my favorite tree. Okay. So these males were set out there, and you know who they are. They're the main progenitors of this whole concept of polygamy. Okay, it wasn't polygamy, polyamory. It wasn't polyamory. It was polygamy. So they were purposefully set out there to be a fly trap, rather a butterfly trap. Okay, because they were attracting really beautiful butterflies, and when the butterflies would come to them, they were being, basically pulled into this web of lies and marginalization, and then they can run the CIA program of mind control, depreciate them, break them down. The biggest person that you can remind you of is Nature Boy. Nature Boy, Carbonation, that group before that was taking in, luring all these women into this so-called, tribe, and then when they would get there, they would get a bait and switch. Okay, so we'll just talk. I don't want to stay too long on that because that is part of why we use our higher consciousness and utilize forms of critical thinking. Okay, you must know that with every elevation, especially we're so close to ascension, the rapture, exodus, leaving the firmament, what have you. So you're going to know that they're going to have several different traps, like bear traps along the way. Remember we talked about this last video when I said, right before we get to the Emerald City, what do you see? The poppy fields. They put you to sleep right before you get close to your goal. Okay, so that being said, sea stars, I want to teach you, and I don't want to teach you because I'm not your teacher. I want to share with you the things that I've learned about our Yoni, the technology that we have literally, that we have between our legs. Many know this, if not all. Many of the occultists have utilized your Yoni without your permission, or have gotten your permission through trickery and bait and switch. Okay, so that is important. The technology of your Yoni is the most powerful thing that is being activated. Our technology is literally being turned on fully next month with 100,000%. Okay, if you allow the activation. Okay, so we're going to go into the technology of the Yoni. The fact of the matter is, you can bring in any ancestor, any being from any star system between your legs. And you do know that the attack of the Yoni began fully about 20, 30 years ago, when they were beginning to create foods, chemicals, and other forms of bioweaponry that were going to atrophy, to chemicalize, to depreciate your technology. Okay, so the fact of the matter is, during the time before reset, women are attacked because they have the ability to ascend. That is why you're getting all these pushes for people to change into women, because what you have organically is something that allows for you to source and open like a lotus and be able to be propelled into the higher realms, where in fact you have the ability to exodus outside of the firmament. This is fact. This isn't conjecture. I base my no on watching what happens before each reset, seeing everything being disseminated chronologically at this point, and also seeing how my wonderful sea stars, sisters, are all activating. I can give you an example. I see a lot of times that miscarriages are not that, my love. April, try to refrain from judging yourself. I'm talking about the technology. The technology can be harmed in any way, but it doesn't mean it doesn't work. It works, okay? The fact that you have a beautiful womb, you have a Yoni, you have access to utilize that technology, okay? You have red cardinals around? Let me take a sip of my my last minute boba tea before we... Okay. Please put a like on the video if you're okay with the shenanigans tag. So, during Mayday, we activate, and during June, the activation actually starts to work. Marcus, behave yourself. Oh, the birds are coming. You know when I really feel higher vibrational? The birds, they always come by. It's almost like they see something about my life. I think they do it with everyone. Okay, so at this time, we are about to get close to reset. We're very close. How you know is you're seeing the chronological orders. If you watch my videos, you already know. I personally know that in 2012, time did stop, but we went in reverse. We're ricocheting backwards. It's a loop. Okay, it's like a figure eight. Okay, you know that infinity? That's what happens here. This is a bubble, kind of like a a pterodome. I call it the pterodome, where we're coexisting, and it's a holographic experience with forms of projections. Your mind is electronically creating the environment around you. Collectively, we also co-create the environment of people around us, okay? So in this pterodome, there are multiple layers of challenges, okay? And whoever is the most suppressed has the ability to leave the quickest, okay? It's kind of like they only put as much effort into the one who has the ability to leave. Whoever is, and that's how you know the age of a soul, you know the sentence of the soul. Because again, when you're about to graduate and leave your elementary school or leave your middle school, leave your high school, go to college, go past that, there's always a layer of challenges that happen to see if you have learned the valuable lessons of your transgressions here, okay? Have you learned to be generous even when you have the least? Have you learned to be patient even when it seems that you're pressed for time? Have you learned to be generous, like I said, in the eyes of your maybe having more fiscal challenges? Have you learned to be more loving, even if love seems to be less given to you? Have you learned to be forgiving at a time where things may seem unforgivable? There are many different forms of lessons that are learned here. So as much as I talk about this being a holographic system, I told you, I personally think that that this is a holographic prism that many have been sentenced to, some fell upon here. And in this system, there's a rehabilitation kind of activity going on where beings have the ability to transcend some of the challenges or some of the dispositions that they had previously. So like your karma is what you say, and what you do is your karma. So what you bring out, and you can also see this upon people. I already know someone's disposition by the people around them. If they always have people around them that are attacking them all the time, judging them, that's an aspect of themselves that needs to be resolved. Because sometimes we aren't able to see ourselves unless we have people around us to show us aspects of ourselves. You would have to truly accept that to really understand what I'm talking about. But let's get back to the Yoni technology, okay? So personally, I found out that before reset, there is an elevation within the organic female. This is the happy part, y'all, okay? Please put a like on the video if you're up for the shenanigans today. So, right before reset, there's a true elevation, meaning all truths are known. That's why you're seeing in every single avenue. Look in every aspect of your life, all truth is said. So, like, you'll see, like, if I'm really drinking, I don't hide what I do, but if I'm really drinking, I'm drinking a boba tea. But if I really want to hide this, you'll see someone going like this, and then it'll drop on the floor, and you'll see it. All revelations are coming to light, because in order to truly gain that activation, everything has to be revealed. Okay? So what you're seeing right now is every lie is unraveling. Every bit of, you're seeing releases of all these documents of things that 90% of us in the intel community already knew. But for the main population, or the main collective, revelations, right? Isn't there, oh yeah, it's called revelations in the Bible, right? Revelations are being made. So when I'm looking in the amazing different communities, and I always judge it based on this. The highest and the lowest, and when I say this, the highest in social economical and the lowest social economical are generally the same, okay? They have generally the same challenges and disposition. And you think to yourself, FleurBrun, how could that be possible? It is. The highest, their challenges are being able to vet out of people they can truly trust, learning spiritual lessons, because they have access to things very easily. They have a tendency to get bored because over access, over accessibility, over sex, having too much of something disallows you from feeling gratitude. It disallows you from really being able to feel valuable. On the lower tier of social economical, it's the same thing, but it's the flip. It's feeling that you're always in lack. People are always, you aren't able to know who trusts or to help you, and to also be able to, my little ones are loud. Girls, I'm on. I'm sorry. So on the top and bottom, and I don't want to say it's negative. At top and bottom, they generally have the same general disposition. They're the flip side of the coin. Okay, the position that has the highest ability to be able to gain the lessons and utilize them are generally somewhere in the meridians, in the middle. Okay, someone who's kind of got a little bit of both. You know, has highs and lows, but you know, generally has a healthy. It's always a 0 point that's the healthiest, okay? So that in itself is, now I'm starting to see with women in what we consider to be the social economical or maybe trauma-based, they're starting to get it. They're starting to wake up. They're starting to fast. Like I'm seeing young women who generally are like, get that, drop that and so on, they're fasting. They're having dreams of being in other star systems. They're waking up and all of a sudden feeling like they want to change their lives. That's the activation. And they're not even trying. They're not even trying. So if you look at the ratio of, sorry, this is here. If you're looking at the ratio of awareness and awakening, look at the ratio of men to women. Who in this spectrum of this great awakening is you see waking up the most, men or women? I'm not saying men don't. I'm just saying if you had to generalize, and I'm saying sun stars, you tell me too, in your life, who do you see the most that are getting awareness, like doing fasting, starting to change their lives, starting to look into their own, Kabbalistic success discriminate. You're not being discriminated. No, I want to talk about it because again, men are changing at a different rate than women. And again, and reason why we tend to evolve is because we have more challenges, and that's why I told you whoever has the most challenges has the most ability to be able to transcend out of this firmament. Okay, so that being said, is that it isn't saying that men aren't getting it. I'm talking about the rate. So you're seeing both. Oh, you guys are seeing both. This is great. I want to know that. Are you seeing both? It's primarily women, but very fortunate there are some male. I see males. Well, in our groups, if you're a male here, you already get it. So but how, men, can we be honest on stars? Tell me how many of your homeboys are getting it. Tell me, this is what I know from our males, our sun stars. Many of our sun stars are the only one of 2 or 3 in the group. Any other sun stars? Do you have any of your other sun stars that are awake like you? Because I know sun stars, and it's only them that is awake. They don't have homeboys, but I know sea stars who rock with a group of women who are in that elevation. A very few men, yeah. Because look at the sun stars here. If you see our beautiful sun stars, and that's why I say sun stars, there isn't anything. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying in the grand scheme of our males, there's a lot of elevation of the females, and I personally think that this has to do with the time we're in and why certain soul groups have incarnated in female form at this time. Okay? It's like, why are there different colors and cap and gowns for different kinds of graduations? Okay? So I'm not going to talk to the people who say colors, oh, I don't see colors. That is a form of social engineering that you've been socially engineered to say, to devalue seeing what is obvious. Okay? So I see colors. Okay? So what happens is that during forms of different graduation, you'll see different colors that they'll wear to show the ranking of the type of graduation that they're going to embark on. It's the same this time. If you were incarnated with the technology, and see, sun stars, I'm going to get into you because you're not missing the boat. I'm just telling you, we are the boat. Do you understand, sun stars? Sun stars, listen to me. There isn't any devaluing. You know how I love you. I rock with y'all, especially you healthy, loving sun stars. I'm talking about you aren't missing the boat. We are the technology. We're the craft. Okay? So when you embark with us, that's why a lot of males who have done harm to women, they're locked up in jail right now. There is some sort of consequences happening to males that are hurting and harming women in a high degree. Okay? So, so that being said, I want to say that because I think a lot of times you think that I'm sending you off, but I'm talking about the female's technology now, and then I'll speak about how you engage with us. And also there's other sun stars. And listen, I was listening to one of my favorite YouTubers. Nobody talks about him, but you got to tell him if you know him, Black Dot. I love Black Dot. He was on Black Magic. What was it, yesterday? I've loved this man for years. I mean, his mind is so in alignment with us. So big up to Black Dot. I used to speak about him years ago, but I didn't hear about him. No deceit, FleurBrun, don't be hating. Black Dot is amazing. So if you guys know, yeah, right? Do you know him, No Deceit in Spirit? I love Black Dot. He was on Black Magic. I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent. I was listening to him. He's always been in that alignment. I love how he is with his grandchildren. Listen, if you've not listened to him, he's so on point, right? He's a legend. But now that people don't know him, and I missed him for so long, and I finally got a chance to see him on Brother Rich's channel, and I was so excited. I was so excited. So I love him. If you know him, tell him. He's one of my favorites. I haven't seen him in so long. Anyway. Anyway, so I'm sorry. Let me go on. So let's talk about the technology of the Sea Star. So right now at this time we're being activated. We have right now, because it's a 4, 5, 6, it's a countdown. So that is, you know how they do a countdown, but they do a countdown. That is to invert the way that we perceive going off. That's purposeful. It's always a count up. Listen to me. This is a purple pill moment. They purposefully made us count down when something takes off, but that isn't the case. It's supposed to be a count up. So 4, 5, 6, 7, we're supposed to count up to take off. So they purposefully inverted it so you think that you have to count down in order to elevate it to opposite. Okay, so 4, 5, 6 is the count up to the activation of the Yoni. The Yoni is literally the technology called the woman is actually being activated. So Sea Stars, what's happening now is all of the times, all these months, all these years of you having these revelations, feeling your body's changing. I talked to so many Sea Stars and Sun Stars. They came on Zoom. They were already fasting. How is it that we're all in the same alignment? What made everybody fast? Look online. Look at people that are not connected to this platform, not anything. Why is everyone feeling the need to start working with their technology? Meaning that, you know, when your muffler needs to be, you know, filtered out, you know, when you need an oil change, you Sun Stars know this, okay? You need to put some, you know, some more fluids in the different caskets for what needs to be. Everything is now needing to be, you know, just like you do the check before you take a flight, you know, the flight check, the captain always says, okay, let's check the rudder, let's check this, let's check that. You always do that before you take off, right? Take up. I need to say take up, okay? So that being said, what's happening now is the woman with the technology, she is now doing all of the test and fluid, and she's actually getting her technology to be taken up, okay, to be activated, to be her technology now to go online. So that is why you're seeing many different backgrounds of women. It doesn't matter if they're here in Africa. Big up to our sea stars in East Africa, West Africa, and Central. Big up to you. I'm seeing them doing it. I'm seeing the women doing it in different parts of the Caribbean. I'm seeing women from the States doing it naturally. Naturally, it's a count up. So they know that the technology needs to come online. And now what's happening is that they're starting to work on mind, body, and spirit. So with the Yoni, this is very important. It is important for you to make sure there aren't any blockages inside of your Yoni space. You know that many times with sea stars, especially at this time when there aren't as many activating sun stars. Listen to what I said, activating sun stars. Remember I said the wand works as a key? His little mushroom. Pick it to the sun stars. his little mushroom head. Okay, so it can either turn on the technology or it can turn off. You have to be mindful now that if, in fact, we'll talk about the things that could deactivate you. And then we'll talk about the way that a sun star is activating you, okay? Because remember, I talked about sun stars. I'm going to go to you in a little bit, but I'm just talking to our sea stars right now. Sun stars, you have the ability to assist with this as well, especially if you're healthy, loving, and able, okay? So that being said, if you are engaging with a male who is turning off your technology, you will have issues with a lot of yeast infections. You will be riddled with dis-ease, because dis-ease is basically just your mind, body, and spirit being overwhelmed with stressors, forms of devaluation, sexually transmitted demons that you have harbored based on being engaged with males that haven't any love for you. The greatest technology knows that if it isn't qualified, why are you allowing it inside of your ship? Okay? A qualifying wand, a qualifying man, a qualifying sun star, he is already initiating his qualification by expressing love. It is one of the things you see that isn't being spoken about on any of these social media. The music isn't vibrating at a high octane of loving frequency. When a male, a sun star, loves you, he is a higher form of elevation that allows to turn on your technology. When a male is engaging with you and releasing his seeds of death, because if he isn't loving you, he isn't initiated, he isn't qualified, and he will basically engage with you and seed himself with a graveyard inside your womb. Okay, so that being said, it's important for you to qualify the keys that you allow to enter into your Stargate. The key matters. Okay, so if there isn't any initial formulated spirit or zest of love, he isn't qualified to engage or to even enter into your Stargate, to even meddle with your technology. Okay, love is a key. Do you remember that? What is it? Love is a key. How many songs back in the days, and don't say this anymore, they say like drop it, kick it, pick up, okay, remember back in the days, love is a key, love is a key. Okay, so that being said, I'm just saying, if there isn't any form of love in the engagement, in the qualifying, just happily, just, if there isn't there's a need to curse anyone out or say anything negative, just, he isn't qualified to engage in your yoni. Now, if he's qualified and he loves you, you have qualified that as love, and you too love him, then when he enters his key, his magic wand, into your technology, he has the ability to turn it on. Okay? That's why it's necessary. That's why they don't want us mating with each other. They would prefer for us not mating with one another, because they would prefer that you aren't able to have that that wonderful yin and yang, that quality of us coming together in one fold. Okay, it's very important. So the technology of the yoni. So now you have a yoni. Now, we all talked about, many of you know me for years. How many years have some of you known me? Many years. I've talked about yoni steaming way before it was ever popular, right? So we talked about yoni steaming because a lot of sea stars, young sea stars, they, you know, again, these are not things that their moms may be talking to them about, right? I don't know if their aunties are speaking to them, right? So yoni steaming is one of the oldest practices that many of the Uveritic women of the Uveritic practices in Africa, they've done forms in olden Europe, actually olden days in Europe, like the Celtic women knew to do. It's basically like they used to just, the Indian women, remember they used to take their dresses and their skirts, like my skirt here, and put that over the incense, and basically like sometimes they'd roll their hips like this, right? They roll their hips and allow for that beautiful energy of what that incense detailed had, the frequency of the scent, okay? So yoni steaming is similar to that, okay? It's, I don't, you can look at, that's an old video. I can't even tell you where the video is. It's an old video. If you want to look back at my videos, I kind of go in detail. You can sit on a pot, you know, wonderful. I love a couple of different herbs that are amazing. What is it? Gosh darn it, I love this one. It's like a witch. It's like a witch's brew version. What is it called? The witch. Darn it. Anytime I come in here, I always forget like obvious things. It's a. Let me see if any of the sea stars. Yes, Divine Hazel, we got a couple things. We also going to go into the solar eclipse. Why are the activations very important at that 4 or 5? The count up is 5, 6, 7, and then we have the solar eclipse. Okay, thank you so much, Friday. What was the Oh gosh, I someone knows what I'm talking about here. Anyway, I don't want to waste too much time trying to think of the herb. Someone knows it's which mugwort. Thank you. Oh my God, mugwort. Thank you, my love. It's mugwort. You knew it. Okay, so mugwort. That's a wonderful way to cleanse out and also to get rid of demonic energies. When you have mugwort is amazing. If you do a steam pot, also use. Be careful using any Himalayan sea salt. Some of you are not for my Zoom, so you know that many of us kind of vetted out that they have some radioactive material in the pink Himalayan sea salt. That's why they're perpetually putting it out there for people to use it. It's being, you know, pushed. The seashells are amazing. Thank you. The seashells over the womb also, that's an old practice of the African women. Big up to our Africana women and also women from the Caribbean and the old indigenous. You always put the seashells to protect your womb, okay? Patchouli is a wonderful, that's actually before you want to enamor your husband. You know, patchouli is a wonderful enhancer of that love energy, that attractive energy. It's Chase Treeberry. Ooh, Robert, what's that? Chase Treeberry. I like that. What does that do? Can someone write that down so I don't forget? I'd love to know. It picked up something in my cellular memory. I'm gonna see what he says again. I wouldn't mess with activated charcoal because we found out that they put a lot of activated charcoal. Why they promoted activated charcoal is because they've been putting nano particulates in them, forms of graphene. I wouldn't mess with anything dark. That's why they promoted a whole bunch of charcoal in every single item. Oh, take charcoal, put charcoal. It has graphene. Okay? I don't mess with charcoal because I can't vet it out. Okay, unless you make it yourself. If you make it yourself, you charcoal it yourself, you do it yourself, you know, you burn down something and make it yourself, then that's vetted. But as far as anything, just be careful. Not all salt is created equal, exactly. You know, be careful with things that say sea salt because it doesn't mean that it's sea salt. You know, Celtic sea salt is amazing. That's something that has a lot of mineral stocks and so on. But when you're basically steeping and doing a steam, you want to make sure it is, I would even say if you can go and get sand from the beach, I would almost feel like that would be a better qualified version of salt. You want to do that. So just make sure, if you're having issues with fibroid, you should come over to our group on Patreon. We just talked about all the things that all the sea stars are getting rid of it. Okay, because we have remedies that do it. You know, we're old school. You know, a lot of us are old school moms, and big up to Paris who actually gave one of the remedies for that. Okay, join us because that's why we're doing the fast and everything like that. Lavender, dragon's blood, jasmine. That's beautiful, Tay Marco. What a beautiful. Anyway. So steaming the yoni to clear. Remember we talked about sexually transmitted demon? Remember that guy you slept with last Tuesday? He was amazing. His wand was so, you considered to be magical, but it was holding demons of mass destruction, okay? You want to clear his energy out, okay? And if you've allowed him to inseminate in you his sperm of mass destruction, you want to do a nice cleanse. You want to do a nice little sea bath where you cleanse inside, do a nice little salt. You want to make sure you actually have that. Now, yoni eggs, I don't hear many people using them as much anymore, but if you have an obsidian yoni egg, if you've had, you know, diabolical sex with the demon, because sometimes demons have amazing sex, right? Don't act like you don't know. Some of the most amazing wands, because remember, they enamor you. It's like the Pied Piper. Pied Piper, get it? Because the pipe is, and you know, his pipe is like, you know, he's like dropping it like it's high. He knows every move because he's been with every woman. You know what I mean? The reason why he does that is because he's been with 50,000 women. He's learned, he's mastered the art of his piping. That's why he's called the Pied Piper. Okay, he's been in every, he's learned every woman's body. So by the time he gets to you, he feels like God, and really he's a demon. Okay. He's got every dark angel on his wand. He's got like a League of Doom all over him. You know what I mean? By the time you sleep with him, he's giving you multiple orgasms. But at the end of the day, you've got all this League of Demons. You hear voices in your head. You got stuff flying on the ceiling. You got all kinds of diabolical things happening. Nothing's going right. All your amazing abundance has left because he's you know, he's basically unleashed. He's like what's his name? What's his name from Amityville? No, he's not Amityville. What's his name? What's the guy when you go to sleep? Freddy Krueger. He's like the Freddy Krueger of sex. Just be careful with you know, y'all know it's true. These men have, a man who's been out there with multiple women, that's why women go after one man. And it's because he's a demon. Okay? It's just like sun stars will go after one particular woman and she could be a demon. Okay? Incubuses of mass destruction. So just, you know, I'm not trying to say anything that you don't already know. You got to clear that out. So Tuesday Tommy got to be cleared out. Tuesday Tommy has to be exercised from your yoni so your technology can work. Because Tuesday Tony could have a link to your technology and could be basically utilizing your yoni to basically elevate his life. That's why sometimes you'll sleep with a man and your life goes to hell and his life elevates because he's utilizing your technology that you haven't even utilized yourself. Okay, so Terrible Tuesday, Tommy, let him go and exercise him from your yoni space. Okay, so let's do a little steam. Let's get an obsidian yoni egg, leave it in there. You know, do a couple mantras to exercise him from your life. Ignore his phone calls because any attachment could keep his attachment, his lure on you. Okay, all right. So just make sure you clear him out of your space. Revoke him, rebuke him. Reject him, and leave any contact alone. Let all the others engage with him, okay? Tuesday Tommy. I'm sorry, yo. Please put a like. I think I've gone left. I've gone left. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I remember this no, this isn't appropriate. Let me behave myself. I was just going to share something. Let me behave myself. You know, this is something that sea stars, you know, and also sun stars, you know it's the truth. You ever meet a woman with the yoni of mass destruction? She's like the thotteries and the thotteries. Like you go in, she's beautiful. Her bum is like popping. She smells like, you know, last year's favorite, you know, perfume of mass destruction. her fake eyelashes are like popping, all the syntheticas, all the AIs on her eyelids, all the makeup with with all the, nanotechnology. She looks good. Her bosoms are like popping because all the silicone is nice and congealed all here. You like it, just doing it, popping it, sucking it, rocking it. And then next thing you feel sick. You feel like you've been like robbed by a pirate. You know, sun stars, as you heard, Yoni has, I told you about the Yoni that has a hand in there. She's like, she gets your wand. This is what she's doing energetically to your wand. And then you can't get it up when you go with other females, because now she's put some sort of gin on you. She's got some sort of succubus that's literally sucking your energy dry. And then all of a sudden, everything in your life is falling apart. You used to have a nice place. Now you can't afford to pay for it anymore. Your car got robbed. Next thing you know, your favorite sneakers got a stain on it. You don't know where it came from. Those are succubus, okay? There's a lot of them on IG. Some of you like to masturbate to them. And also masturbating to these succubus, they attach through your black mirror called your phone. Okay? They don't have to have a black mirror on your wall anymore. Now they could just put it on your phone. So now you got a black mirror portal, and every time you masturbate to Busty Becky, you are basically releasing an energetic pulse. So now this demon, or whatever that is, or whatever league of doom she's down with, she literally has your energy. That's why when you masturbate, you feel lost and you feel down and you feel low. Okay? That's why there's porn all over the internet so easily. You can just go on your phone and just put Busty and you'll see all this porn come on. They want you to masturbate because they feed off of your energy, okay? That's sex magic. You got a portal on your phone. So every time you look at it and you're watching Busty Becky and she's doing all kinds of things. She's doing tricks. She's doing flips because she's a demon. You know how they contort their body? She's doing demons. Her hole is like got different holes, black holes from other dark galaxies of the 2D realm. You basically are connecting to that, okay? You know, I talked to our sea stars. I got to talk to you too. Masturbation for males is more detrimental to y'all than it is to us, okay? So I would withhold from looking at Busty Becky and busting loose on her, because all that's gonna do is connect to a dark energy that you're feeding, and then that energy is gonna put more porn on your phone because now you fed the crocodile. And now the crocodile expects to be fed every time. So now you get more porn with Busty or Becky's and Becky's best friends. And then you got Becky's Becky's big buttocks. It's true. It's true. So I make jokes of this, y'all. Just take it, take it. Let me say, I'm sorry if I'm, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. Okay, let me apologize. I told you to let the little ones out of here. I said this conversation isn't for the young at heart. Anyway, listen, so all I say is this. Refrain from releasing your seed to Becky, Busty, and her League of Doom. And also for Tuesday Toms, please don't release your yonis and allow him access to your womb, because you will have leagues connected to you and it'll be difficult for you to exercise every time you engage with him. Okay? Let's start to clear ourselves. So this conversation is about activating the yoni, but also sun stars. It's from you deactivating or disattaching from those energies that are sucking you dry. Okay? I know a healthy male by how much energy he has, how much light is in his eyes, and the type of things that he puts in his mouth. Okay? Okay? He isn't placing things in his mouth that are going to harm him. He is mindful of, just like us. You know, you look at us, sun stars, you look at us and you say, oh, because with, FleurBrun, like I said, I just had babies. So, but with us, you'll say, well, she isn't healthy because look at the way she looks. Visually, you can tell if someone is unhealthy. If he is not looking like he has sun, bright eyes, he looks like he's been sucked dry by a succubus, that may not be a partnership that you want to allow. That wand may literally turn off your engine. Engine. Okay? Okay, so that being said, let me put a disclaimer here. If you break up with any of your husbands, wives, girlfriends, lovers, please. I take zero responsibility for that. Did you hear me? I take zero responsibility for any breakups that this video may create. I understand that. Okay? Let's get into the technology of the Yoni. So now we've steamed our Yoni. We kind of disconnected from those who have done your Yoni eggs. Do use the obsidian as a way to kind of clear. Black clears, okay? So if you use the obsidian, and then if you want to zest it up, you're always having the rose quartz or the rose quartz or the what's the other one I like? They have one that is hard to get. It's a golden egg. I forgot what it's called. Is it it's not citrine. It's another, it's not the jade, because the jade is the one they always give you. It's a citrine one. It's very difficult to get. It's an egg that they don't advertise, and I know only women like in India and in parts of Europe that get it. It's a golden egg. Yeah, it's a golden healer, truth. I don't remember what it is. It's really great. If you can find it, maybe you can find it on the internet, do it, but it's one of the eggs that helps to heal. Okay? So sea stars, it's not a tiger's eye, it's a golden egg. I'll remember what it is. I'll look for it later, okay? Maybe it's a golden sheet, maybe it is. We'll figure it out. Sea stars, can you go and look for me so we can help our sea stars that need that? Okay, so sea stars, now our technology is about to turn on. During this time that your technology is trying to fix itself and kind of recalibrate itself, do allow for fasting. This is what we're going to do to kind of clear our energy, so we have the energy to clear our body and to fix any of the broken parts of our technology. This is our starship. We're basically activating our starships. And because the woman has the technology, we have to clear everything. Just like a pilot would have to clear everything before he flew. Okay? So part of the fasting is, first we're doing the Yoni steam. We're clearing out all the demons of mass destruction, Tuesday Tom, semen of demons, okay? So we're clearing it out, muting everything, and then we're going to do a basic clearing energetically, where we have to biologically, so we have to stop eating. Eating will mute, because all of the food that most likely I've talked about before, a lot of the foods out here is a muter. Even if you're eating really healthy food, you'll notice once you stop eating, even if it's 48 hours or 24 hours, you ever notice that your hearing gets better? Your eyesight gets better? You have more clarity? It's because the food is muting you. The food that they've created here in this Terror Dome is literally a blocker. It is meant to keep you capped and muted. So by taking out food just for a moment, you will get some clearing. And then when you clear the things that your body didn't have energy to fix because you're not eating, it literally can fix everything wrong. It can fix those maybe fibroids that you had that need to be dissipated and broken down. Maybe like those scars that are still there and you don't understand why they're not going away. It clears those scars. It clears any emotional things that you hadn't really, you kind of, because, you know, sometimes when you're a little thicker, and I can speak as a thick girl, sometimes those things that we have that we may not want to express, or we've kind of, we've put away inside of ourselves, like you kind of put it in, it's inside that fat storage, So when it gets released, you release those doubts, you release those aspects of pain or mourning. Okay, so it's wonderful for you to fast during this time as we're going to activate our technology. Now, as we're activating our technology, there are specific portals on the ley lines. Okay, so if you are being drawn, sea stars, listen to me again. If you are being drawn to specific ley lines, especially during Mayday, 5, 6, 7, count up. You may want to take your pilgrimage to those ley lines, because as the technology, there are power points inside of this holographic system that will not only just assist you, they will literally recalibrate and basically make sure that technology is tested. Okay? So there may be places, I know some sea stars right now that are being called to places that they haven't ever thought of. They're like, what? And remember, the universe supports you. So if it is easy and effortlessly and accessible to you, then you go to the ley lines and make sure your Yoni, your master of technology, isn't being inhibited. Now we talked about panties, right? Panties, which is crazy in itself, right? Panties. Listen to that. Isn't that crazy to have panties on? Okay. Now, this is an adult conversation, so Sunstars, please behave yourself in the chat. What I'm going to say will sound maybe very sexy to you, but this is really about allowing her Stargate to be fully open and receptive to different energies that will help to be a catalyst for turning that on. Okay, so that's why they always say, oh, am I turning you on? Listen to the terms that they use. Is that turning you on? Is that, what does that mean, turning on? Turning your technology on? I would only wear underwear if necessary. Not with jeans or pants, but remember, having your yoni open and receptive to the different frequencies and energies, especially on these other portals, is very important. Okay? And if you do engage with wearing underwear, wear only organic fibers on your yoni. Because we found out, and for some of you come on, we're going to discuss this tomorrow on Patreon, on Zoom. We're going to discuss the different fibers and fabrics that are positive and have higher vibrations, so that you're actually, your body, which is the skin is the largest organ all over, your body has the capability to have a healing vibration rather than a deficit or a depreciation. Okay, so having organic things on your yoni. If you're putting synthetic fabrics on your yoni, you are perpetuating in the subjugation of suppressing, muting, and also lowering your vibratory frequencies. Okay, it's very important. So for sea stars, if you're having a lot of yeast infections, if you're having a lot of UTIs, I would really suggest you come with us and join us tomorrow. Also, make sure you're checking the things that you're putting on your yoni. For mommies of little girls, where's all my mommies in here? Don't say it, because I don't want anyone targeting you. Don't say it. Mommies of little girls or young ladies or teenagers, okay? Big up to all us mommies. What we do for ourselves, we extend to our baby girls, okay? Daddies, uncles, maybe if you are the one who is the more conscious in the relationship with your daughters or your daughter's mother or your wives, start buying. My dad was the one who bought like certain things for me when I was little, when I was very self-conscious. If you know that mommy's not really conscious and you as the daddy or baby's daddy or whatever you are, you have children with a woman, she's not very conscious, and you have daughters, make sure she's only buying organic, pure 100% cotton. It shouldn't be mixed at all. Your daughter will have health issues later if she isn't wearing things that are organic. If she's already having her menses and showing her womanship, listen, y'all, womanship, because it's a beautiful thing when you have your menses. Let me give a big up to everyone. Your menses is a testimony of your ability to give birth to life. Always give gratitude to having your beautiful release. Also, when you bleed, that is your way of doing your own form of chelation, because women, when they are still in menses, we dump toxins out of that blood that releases every month. That's why when a woman stops bleeding, she has more health issues and she has to do other forms of clearing more so. Even her collagen starts to depreciate. It's very important that you aren't speaking detriment to your blood release monthly. Now, before, did we bleed like this? Absolutely. It wasn't documented in any testimonies that we had bleeding in previous lifetimes. But in this one, it is a form of releasing and it clears you. So when you bleed every month, that's why men battle to bleed. That's their way of doing a chelation, a kind of dumping. That's why they used to do leaching to pull out toxic blood. So to bleed is a negative. If you keep damning that and saying negative things about it, then you're going to bring things like fibroids and tumors and things like that to you, because that is a testimony that you were able to bring life onto this planet from other star systems, okay? So be grateful for your ability to perceive and also conceive. Okay, to be able to conceive and have that beautiful testimony of your ability to give forth life, make sure you aren't speaking ill of it, because you bring detriment to you when you aren't in appreciation of it. Gratitude is always first. Okay. So just know that that is something that is healthy at this point. It wasn't something before. I'm not saying it's something we always did, but at this point, it's a testimony of your ability to give forth life. And because it's a form of chelation where we dump toxins out of our system, it's a great thing to know. Okay. Also, there's a lot of things that have to do with that menses. We're not going to talk about it here because people get heebie-jeebies, and we'll discuss that tomorrow. If you want to ask me any questions on Zoom, we'll talk about some of the menses, things that have to do with the menses. That's very important. Okay. So your technology goes on. You'll be called to certain portals at this time. Wearing natural daddies. Also, if you have young ladies that are teenagers, I say daddies because sometimes daddies on here, big up to all the sun stars that are daddies. Let me give a props to the fathers on here and grandfathers. We don't do this enough. Big up to all the granddaddies on here and daddy. I love my daddy. Many of you know I'm a daddy's girl. I act like a daddy's girl. Big up to the daddy's girls on here. But daddies, if you have daddy's girls, I was a daddy's girl. So the reason why I show up well is because my daddy was like y'all. He showed up for me and made sure he did things to keep me in line. My mommy did too, but I want to give props to the daddies in here and granddaddies. Because when I heard Black Dot yesterday as a grandfather, I love what he said. He was like, he wants to hear what his young people say. He wants to hear what they say. So big up to the daddies in here, okay? If you have little girls, you are very precious, because one thing young ladies love is their fathers. And if you show up well for her, she will love you for in eternity. So daddies, take care of your little girls. I don't care if she's 10 or 20. Make sure you tell her you love her, and make sure you extend things that you learn here from some of us wisdom-bearing women of certain ages, okay? So if she's still using pads for her menses, you can suggest to her mother to use nature pads, nature care, so she isn't putting things on her lower extremities when she's having her menses that are going to cause atrophy. A lot of the pads like tampons, Playtex, all that stuff, which I haven't used, oh my God, since I was a little girl, a young girl, first getting my menses. I've only used nature pads and organic pads or pads. So those are all poison. They have formaldehyde in it, cancer building things. Also with toilet paper, we talked about toilet paper mass destruction. You know, a lot of times if you can get a chance to install daddies, because you guys are the ones who do all the wonderful things in the house. I love when you're around. Even my ex, like, you know, I love when they come in the house and they put stuff, put a bidet in the house for her and the mama. Put a bidet in the house for your daughter, even if she's at college or something. Put a bidet in there and make sure she's only having organic toilet paper that is non-bleached, okay? So daddies, I say this to you because I know that you have the ability. Daughters, we do listen to our fathers. And when a father initiates this kind of healthiness, especially when it comes to her being the future mother of your grandchildren, you have so much say in her life. And you will make sure that the technology that your young, beautiful young lady has accessed and has created has something that you feel connected to that. And believe me, when she portals out of here, her daddy is the first person in her mind, because that's how I am, okay? Big up to all the daddies in here, okay? So also for anyone with the technology of the Yoni, wearing skirts helps, wearing natural fibers on the skin helps. So now we talk about the technology of our Yoni. Remember, we're turning on our stargates. We're basically making sure our ships are functional during this time of activation and May, okay? The activation where we're counting up to the time, okay? So that being said, making sure natural fibers, if any, making sure that you aren't engaged with any fluorinated water. Did we talk about this already? Okay. The fluorinated water. Because a lot of people will drink, you drink water that's healthy. This is filtered water. for my water thing. And I kind of just fill it back up in here. But the water you drink is important, but the water you shower with and you wash your yoni space with is just as important. So you want to make sure that you have a non-charcoal. I'm not a fan of charcoal, y'all, unless you make it yourself. Get a filter that filters out those elements and test it, making sure you aren't taking bath and things that are causing more harm to your biosphere for your technology. Just like you wouldn't take an acid, you wouldn't put your Mercedes in an acid bath, would you? Would you put your Maybach or your really amazing car, would you put it in an acid bath? You wouldn't do that. Would you put in a fancy new car, would you put the most lowest form of gasoline ever? You wouldn't do that. So with the technology, sea stars, the woman is being mimicked. And we're gonna kind of talk into that, but let's just go into that. So basically, clearing your yoni, putting in a yoni egg, clearing out the demons of mass destruction from Tuesday, Tommy, okay? Making sure you're wearing natural fibers, making sure that you speak love to your yoni and be grateful and gratitude of all the life that you will bring forth and all the life that can come from your womb. Speak love. Also, having shells wrapped around your tummy is really nice. That's also a protective element. A lot of us from the Caribbean, Africa do that still. It's beautiful. I do sound frequency on water through recitation. Yes, Quantum Sensei, doing frequency sounds on your water changes the level of frequency as well. And that also speaking love into your water, because as within, so without. You know, your waters inside are beautiful and happy if you're speaking well. And also putting frequencies on your water cymatics. Thank you, Jody. Cymatics, okay? And love matters, okay? Also, mind the company you keep. As our technology is about to be accessible and usable, there is a fear of what we become. Now, if I already suggested you watch the movie Chaos Walking, that is a testimony of the fear. There's also a movie called Power. There is something that happens. Also, ladies, stop putting nail polish on your hands. Big up to those in my Telegram group who talked about the hands and did a wonderful picture of the hands energetically. If you have nail polish on your hands, that's why they're always promoting for women to have nail polish. All of the kinetic energy comes through your natural nails. If you're constantly putting nail polish, it actually mutes the energy that comes out of your hands. Okay? That's why they promote it. Everything they promote for women to do is the opposite of what you're supposed to do. It takes away from your power. So hold from wearing nail polish on your fingers. Zero nail polish, having natural, healthy oils on you, making sure your body's healthy, wearing nice organic materials on your skin, making sure you aren't putting artificial things on you, okay? So nail polish in itself, all that fake nails and all those, that in itself is purposefully promoted. Hey, Melissa, you up? Well, it's late, Melissa, for you. I forgot I'm 2 hours of difference. Make sure that you are preventing putting nail polish at this time. That mutes your kinetic energy. Okay, you haven't used nail polish? I know, Melissa, right? So natural nails, just leave your nails not, I know you haven't used it either, Sensei. It's power. If you see any of the healers, most of the witch doctors or Celtic, practitioners of magic or African, there isn't any nail polish. This kinetic energy, even the guy who does the chi with this, he hasn't any nail polish on his fingers. They promote that because they wouldn't want women to access their power. Okay, so that in itself is something that you want to be amazing to do. Okay, hold on. Okay, go. No, we're not playing right now. Go downstairs. Go downstairs with the girls. Go ahead. Okay. Okay, Chaos Walking is a good movie. Power, it shows you that kinetic energy. So again, big up to who shared that picture on Telegram. I forgot who did. Make sure you have your fingers clear and clear. Make sure you just clean them. Make sure you keep them nice and fresh. And what happened to women having natural nails? Like, why does everybody have to have claws? Like, who are you trying to be? Are you trying to be a demon? Are you trying to perpetuate the image of demons? Because that isn't natural. An organic woman is the most beautiful woman there is. You ever see women? Listen, when I was in Brazil, big up to my Bahamians. When I was in Brazil, big up to Bahia, because I was over in Bahia on the other side, not the Salvador side, I was all the way on the other side. These women, beautiful boa, muito boa, isso, okay? These women were the most beautiful women I've ever witnessed. And there wasn't anything fake about them, because this wasn't Rio. I'm not talking about the women. I'm talking about the women in Bahia. They woke up because by default, they didn't have a lot of money. Their skin was beautiful. They didn't put makeup on. Their hair, whether it was a fro, curly, or straight, their hair was amazing because the water was clear. You know, they're fans of Yemiya. So they have a Yemiya, the Mami Water is their goddess over there. So they're always in the beach getting that wonderful chi energy, that wonderful ionosphere is always on them. They walk around. I looked at them like, wow, these women aren't taking drugs every day. They may drink though, because you know they drink over in Brazil. They walked around like wonderful receptors. I didn't see nail polish on them. They were at the beach all the day. If you go to the beach every day, how are you gonna have nail polish on you like that? Because it'll fade away. Why would you have all kinds of craziness in your hair? Because you're going to the beach every day. So their hair was naturally beautiful, okay? So I'm just saying, no shade. If you have claws, then just rock with your claws. Where's my lip gloss? if you want to wear claws like Cardi B, who's named after liquor, big up to Paris. Paris, did you guys see the video where Paris? No, you guys went on Zoom. She shared the video late night on it was a doctor diagnosing Cardi B with baby alcohol syndrome. And she had all the markers. She was like, she don't have an impulse control. She has a deficit of speech, delayed reaction, impaired reactionary, the fact that her parents named the children after alcohol further perpetuates the fact that she's suffering from baby alcohol syndrome. Is Paris in here? Share that video. We're gonna get messy today. Oh, they diagnosed her. Oh, and it was a real doctor. She was off. I agree with everything she said. Okay, so alcohol. Now, y'all, the reason why they banned you from making alcohol, because when you drink alcohol from another person, you drink in their spirits. That's why all these distilleries, the alcohol that they make, it has demons at the top of each one. So that's why it doesn't matter what kind of Cavassier, they all have a similar demon. Every kind of vodka has the same demon on the top. They created. Now, our ancestors, and some of the women from Sudan, Somalia, who else does this? Our sister from Ethiopia, they make their own elixirs. And you put your own ancestors on it. And the women used to sing around the elixir when they made it. They don't want you to make it because they want you to drink their wine and spirits. During this time of fasting, you should be fasting from the wine and spirits, their demons, okay? Because if you're drinking that, you have their energy on you. They have that attached to that elixir, okay? So I would just say if you're fasting, refrain from drinking, even wine. Because I know people say, oh, well, I don't drink, but I drink wine. Wine is wine and spirits, okay? That's what's called wine and spirits. It's not called liquor and spirits. It's called wine and spirits, okay? And like I said, with dispensary chief, we talked about the dispensary chief, why they released that. We talked about the poppy seeds before you get to the Emerald City. These are all purposefully meant to deactivate or disallow your technology from working properly, okay? You shouldn't be using any sort of chemical at this time if you have proper, people get on me. This is one of the reasons I'm probably the least favorite online, because every form of initiation that I've had, I've been drug-free. Doing drugs, mushrooms, Mary Jane, chiefing, alcohol, those are all forms. And also remember, during the time when the witch doctors, the spiritualists were engaged in this, they had initiations that qualified only certain people to engage with those elixirs. 99% of the people engaging with these elixirs aren't qualified. They're just doing it to get high or to be able to go into worlds that they don't even have the credentials to go into. So it's kind of like a cheat sheet. If you want to engage in a way that's naturally with your own technology, all you have to do is fast. Your technology working at its highest capacity has the ability to access all all forms of different realms. So there isn't anything that you need. There isn't any mushroom. Anyone promoting that, I would just question who they're connected to deity wise. And anybody religious still in a time where you're supposed to be without religion. Religion is a cap. I don't care if the religion, listen, I went to Brazil, I had a ball in Brazil, but the people who do kumbale, they're capped. It's Orishas. Oh, I love Orisha. Orisha is a form of capping. It's like a Jesus. It's like Mary Magdalene. It's like, Mary, Jesus and Mary and Joseph. They're capped. So if you're still, I don't care if it's so-called a religion that you consider to be a cult or more higher. It may be higher on the tier, but it's still a form of uniform social engineering. Because when I went with my girlfriends who were over doing kumbale, 90% of the people got vaccinated. So if you're such a spiritualist and you're so higher minded, how come your Orishas weren't able to tell you what was coming? I'm just saying, if you want to get vaccinated, I'm just saying. How come all these people who were engaged in chief and mushrooms, how come they didn't tell you what was happening? How come the one person who was drug-free, alcohol-free, chief-free, told you? How come I told you and all the people doing shrooms and stuff didn't tell you until after it already happened? I'm just saying. So if in fact shrooms, mushrooms, Mary Jane, psychedelic, what is this stuff called? Ayahuasca. If all that stuff is the bomb.com, how come they didn't come and tell you what was coming? Hello? Can I hello? Tell me. Where are the prediction videos from before? Did anyone in 2019 make a prediction video? Did any of these so-called card readers, psychics, these so-called people who worship Orishas, did any of them make predictive videos in 2019 before Cucarachis came about? Tell me, because maybe I need to know. If they're so spiritual, how come they aren't able to tell you? Because they are ran by other deities on the other side. They think that because they have access past the veil, that it makes them higher. But who are you having access to? Who's the beings on the other side? Who is Yemiya on the other side? Who is Oshun? Okay? Because last I knew, angels don't require offerings. Demons do. I'm just saying. No shade, but shade. For those people who are so-called psychics and so on, how I vet you out is if you were one of the ones in 2018 who was online saying that things were happening. It's so easy to make predictions now when it already happened, right? And no pat on my back, but I'm as clean as a whistle, and I was one of the first people online that told you what was coming, and I was the most criticized and the most attacked by YouTube. Just saying. Okay. So be mindful, sun stars and sea stars. Refrain from doing anything outside of yourself. Everything has been compromised. Every mushroom, especially mushrooms. You saw the whole movie. They tell you what the mushrooms are. All of a sudden they legalize mushrooms. People doing mushrooms. They legalize, and you see the movie. What's that movie right now with the mushroom zombies? They tell you what they're gonna do. They tell you. So why do they legalize it now? If mushrooms are going to bring you to high, they won't legalize anything that is going to assist you. So right now, chief, mushrooms, psychedelics, those are all compromised. And I look at the people who go and do these ceremonies, and I look, and I'm not saying it doesn't help people, because there are people who feel that ayahuasca, mushrooms have helped them. But I'm looking at their lives now, and if their lives are similar to how it was before, or maybe less or the same now, how much did it help you? If financially you were looking for a way to help you fiscally, and you're going to engage with a psychic, and you're still in the same financial system feeling or situation, how much did that psychic help you? If psychics are truly psychic, how come they can't tell you what's going to happen coming up? I'm just saying. You could vet these things out. I don't have to be right. So I'm just talking about the technology, C-stars. Everything you are naturally. This is all saying, I'm not disrespecting anyone. I'm saying all you are naturally. As you are, your hair texture. If your hair is beautiful and coily, please halt from listening to social media telling you it's less. That's why women are getting their hair to be curly, and women who are curly are getting their hair to be straight. They want to be something else. Who you are organically is just right. Your technology is functionable. When you start taking bootleg parts from other things, that's when your technology gets altered. If Goddess made you thin and you came into this incarnation thin, slender, tall, long arms, and a little different, that's the way your technology is supposed to work. When you altered your technology, because remember, physiologically, harmonically, how even our structure of our face, our hands, our bust, do you see, FleurBrun will always be similar. I will be smaller versions of myself or bigger, but I always say the same proportion because my technology has to use that geometry to work and function. Stop criticizing yourself and listening to things outside yourself. Everybody's technology is different. You are perfect the way you are. You needn't any chemical, any drug, any herb to function, have a functional woman technology. Your Stargate works actually best without anything. When we start adding things to our life, when we start engaging with things outside of ourselves, that's when we run into problems. All of our health issues is because we're eating from other people's things. Remember our mamas and grandmothers told us don't eat from somebody else? Don't eat from someone else. You know what we're doing? We're eating from grocery stores. We're going to places expecting strangers to build us health. How could that be possible? Most of the sharecroppers and so on were criticized, but when you were eating from your grandmother's garden, were you getting sick? When you went to your auntie's backyard and your uncle's backyard, Uncle Timmy, and he gave you a carrot from the yard, did you get sick? Did you get nauseous? Did you get skin lesions? Did you get fibroids? When your auntie was making stew from the chicken that she cooked and just slayed in her backyard, I don't agree with killing animal. I'm telling you, when she made chicken soup, chicken foot soup, some of you from the country, big up to all my country people in here from the States. When she made chicken foot soup and she killed that chicken and she picked all of those herbs from the garden and she made it for you, did you get sick? Was your hair falling out? Were you having cramps? You felt healthy, you had energy, and you felt strong. Not only did she prepare the food for you, but because she loves you, that love was involved in it. Some of your grandmothers, you know, a lot of you, even from Eastern Europe, your old grandmothers used to pick dandelions. That's where we learned about the dandelions and the daisies. Your old grandmothers in Eastern Europe used to go out and pick the dandelions from the garden, put that inside of a tea and make that. And that would actually make you more cohesive. We started to have less trust in ourselves. So when I say that your technology is organic, woman, your technology is about to go online. Be thorough and be in who you are. How you show up, blonde, blue-eyed, beautiful chocolate skin with caramel eyes, beautiful big lips, beautiful breasts, beautiful flat chest, tall, skinny, long, thick. You are all exactly how your technology used to be. Oh, thank you, Sharon. I appreciate it. Thank you for the donation. Thank you. Absolutely. Stop listening to others making you question yourself. Why you know that it is happening? Look at all of the amazing propaganda trying to make others be you. AI transformers are trying to cut off other people's genitalia to make them and try to bootleg your technology. Let me give them a FYI. Your technology only works because you are naturally who you are. There isn't any bootleg clone version of you that will be able to access what's coming right now. Thank you, Reagan. Thank you. I appreciate. Aw. Thank you for the donation. 999. That's the end of a cycle. Thank you, my love. So when you see the push for people to cut off the genitalia, they got to put cones inside of themselves to keep a gaping hole. Thank you, Sonara. Thank you for the donation. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, y'all. Thank you. So when you see these people getting holes inside of themselves, someone's going to gape a hole in you and make you put a cone inside of yourself to keep it open, something that's a wound. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? That isn't, you have a womb, sea stars. Stop fighting it. Love yourself. There isn't anything better and more masterful than a beautiful woman who has the capability of bringing all life forms here. There are many who want to be you, but there is zero who will ever be that. We're about to turn it on. Organic So for all my sea stars, your technology is about to be fully placed online. The Yoni is the only gate that now will be accessible. I want each one of you to take that in consideration. Now, some who are joining for our fast tomorrow, we're gonna go into the clothing, into the type of things we're doing for our fast. So if you wanna join us, come over in Zoom. We'll be there in the afternoon tomorrow, Sunday, for the kickoff of our 1 month fast. It's a variation, it's a fast. You can join us. We have amazing women, wonderful masters of healing. Everything about your body can be healed. Rely on yourself right now. This is literally the time where right before reset, they attack women the most. Sun stars, let me get to you. Beautiful sun stars, amazing, loving, wonders, are wonderful protectors, are progenitors of bringing nourishment to us. You are so needed. You and yourself, if you are a wonderful father, if you've been blessed to be a father, if you are a wonderful grandfather, an uncle, a big brother, or just a man who is involved with an amazing sea star, you right now are being called to duty. You were created for the protection of the divine feminine. You were here to stand in honor and protection because, again, when our technology works, when our ship works, who do you think we're bringing with us? Who do you think is aligned with us? By demonizing women, by participating in galvanizing their wombs, by engaging with women without love, you are going to hurt your chances of having access to the outer realm. You loving yourself is the easiest testimony that I know you can love someone else. We require you, and also for you, fasting is necessary. Withholding from shedding your seeds, because remember, wherever you put your energy is where you link yourself to. So many men right now are abstaining from participating in sexual activity because their seed shedding energetically in the wrong hole can literally make it so that they're unable to rise to the occasion of what's coming with reset. Also males, your beards, your magical, amazing beards. I wasn't a fan of your scruffiness because that's what I considered. But your antennas are important because you energetically having that also protects you, but also energetically these antennas, your whiskers, that literally links to the higher energies, and it helps with actually being able to determine the type of female that you should be engaging with. So allowing your nature of your beard, and remember there's certain oils and herbs that you can use for your beard as well. We have some sun stars who utilize these amazing salves for their beards to keep them healthy and their antennas strong. Also, sun stars, I know it's a little more challenging for a male to fast. So for sun stars, if you're able to participate in getting sunshine out without your shirt, like I say for us, because these are solar panels, but for you as well, going out and getting sunshine, because that also energetically will also give you strength. And thank you, Tony, I appreciate it. Thank you, I appreciate it. Big hug right back. So on. Saki, you're here. I missed you. Saki, I've been watching your camping videos. And also, I give a little promo to those I love. Saki is an amazing astrocartographer, and she's been able to help people to see where they are harmonically in this, you know, this field, where they sit well in certain geographical locations. I learned about that from you, Saki. Remember, you kind of, because remember when you started, I was like, you were the one who taught me about astrocartography. You kind of get that. I was like, what is that? So if you want to go to someone who's sound, and I won't ever promote anyone that I know I haven't the greatest confidence in, but if you ever want to get your astrocartography, go to Saki. Okay, she's amazing. She's loving. She lives that life. I love watching you camping. It's so beautiful. It's so harmonic. Living in nature. It's beautiful. With just being who you are. So I love you. I wish I want everyone to just be able to have access to someone like you in their life. So thank you. There's Saki's in there. So I promote her because she's probably the only one that I know, because she does so many different versions of it. It's so amazing. So go to Saki. So thank you, Saki. So let me, okay, so technology, so sun stars, having your face clear, having this clear, also males, also making sure that, you also do a steaming. Now it's different from you because you have your urethra. So for you, a lot of times you collect a lot of your stagnated energy in your bottom area, but because you don't really clear that out, men are not big into like steaming. I would say for you also is doing a clearing for you down in that area, doing like a clearing. Oh, thank you, interested Abbott. I don't have a lot, but you are loved. Oh no, I love it. Thank you, I appreciate it. And you do have a lot. The love is a lot. So fiat is one aspect of everything, but you have a lot of love. Thank you, appreciate it. So sun stars also doing like a smudging. So for sun stars, I say you do like barks. What was the other one? Basil barks. What is basil barks? It's something else that you do. Oh, there was a sun star who's so amazing. If you do like it's with incense. So men, when you sit down, and that's why when men sit in camp, that smoke like going here is helpful. I think the Vikings used to do it too, or the men that used to, or like the Maasai men, they used to do a smoking there. So I want to be more vetted in the actual herb. I know it's like a bark. There's a bark that you do, and it helps men to become more stabilized and grounding, and it clears them down there. So it kind of, they put that incense. And that's why men wearing pants also too tight isn't healthy for them, because their wand has to have some room for airing out. And part of that incense, a lot in Africa, in Uvaritic cultures, and also in Celtic and Viking cultures, the men naturally did that. So it's interesting that men's clothing right now has totally changed into being something that isn't healthy for them overall. Palo Santo is one of them, but it's a different kind of bark. I wish I remembered the name. Any other, it's a different kind of bark. That's why men, if you can, wear very nice, natural cotton kind of pants, looser, because you have to allow your wand to also be aired out, letting your balls, do your balls hang low? Do they wallow when they fall? Wait, please put a like on your video. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You ever see like the balls are supposed to hang a little bit? They are. Like, they're not supposed to be so far up where they're being suffocated, because remember, those balls are the progenitors of the seed. And if those balls are too claustrophobic and they have, they're anaerobic, they're unable to get oxygen. And also, a lot of you put your cell phones on your balls, okay? So putting your cell phone on your balls is nucleifying them, and a lot of males are having problems coming fully to erection. Their wands aren't able to be like, stand up. Okay, that's because you're nucleifying them. So you need to air your balls out. Your balls need to get a little bit of oxygen and some sunlight. Okay, back in the days, I know that the natives wore things, but also it was more airy. Like they got more oxygen. You see these jeans, synthetic materials on your balls, your wands. I mean, you know, Fruit of the Looms isn't a good detail of underwear you should be wearing, right? You gotta let it flow. If you look at Mr. Obama, Mr. Michael, Obama's husband, Mr. Michael, his balls are flying all over the place. So how does your president's husband, I'm stuck. Sherry, thank you, Sherry, I appreciate, oh, Sherry, thank you, my love, thank you, 999. How come Mr. Obama's husband, his balls are flying all over the place? Remember he's dancing on Ellen, his balls would pop, 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 lock it, pop, 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 lock it, pop, pop. How come he let his balls out? Swinging all over the place. You got Meg the Stallion, her balls were popping out in between her legs, her legs during the concert. Remember Mr. Stallion? Mr. Stallion? Mr. Meggery, the Stallion? Remember his balls were hanging low? They let their balls out. You need to let your balls out, y'all. You need to get a little air on your balls, okay? And back in, can I get a little personal? We have no children. Can you put your children away? Remember I told you, give them a crayon book because I'm about to say something that is out there, okay? So you can I'm about to say something. Hold on. Please put a like on the video if you're ever. It's gone all kinds of left at this point. I don't know what's gonna happen. Sea stars, if you have a husband or a mate, there are 7 essential oils. I think it's 7 essential oils that, and I used to do this with my husband and my partner, my mate. You put the children out of the room because it's not appropriate, okay? So during the time when he steams, when you basically, it's not steam, it's, he's not supposed to steam, he's supposed to put incense. It's this bark. I gotta find the bark it's supposed to be. After he does this, he takes a shower and he has this bark that he puts up there. You're supposed to take these 7 essential oils and you're supposed to knead his balls. So you basically go from the where his anus is and you go upward. And you take these oils, you put them in your hand and you also speak love. You know, and protection, you kind of put that energy on, you sing to the oil, okay, and you knead it upward on the back where his anus, where his scrotum is on the bottom, you knead it up, okay, like this. It might be spruce bark. Thank you, Saki. I think that's it. Can you look that up, Saki, for me, please? I think it's spruce bark. It might be spruce. You might be right. So you knead it up like this, ladies. Knead it up. And also, before you engage with his balls, the only way that a woman can actually heal a man from any form of issues with erectile dysfunction or having too many Becky Busties on his balls, you have to be already clean. You can't have a woman that's, you know, she hasn't done the actual fasting and so on. It helps. So you take it. So she has to fast. And if she fasted, after you take a shower, you've also done the incense and you've incensed it for about 10 minutes. You have him lie back like this, like that. And his legs are open and so on. And you speak love while you're doing this. So you kind of knead him up like this, where his scrotum begins, knead it up. And as you're doing that, you're massaging the top of his balls. So you're kind of going like this. Okay, so as you're kneading it up, you go like this, but then you do it inverted. You go down and around. So you kind of go down and around. Go ahead, Fi, go, baby, go. Down and around. So it helps to join the Zoom tomorrow. If anyone who wants to join the Zoom, can someone put the link for Patreon in there? If anyone wants to join it. Hey, Pavel. Pavel and Oz are so used to us talking like this. I was actually going to do a video on this. Wait. I'm sorry. I'm eating balls right now. I'm sorry. I was actually going to do a video on this, but my mate said he didn't want me to because he said it wasn't that he didn't want, because I was like, you know, someone who's open to it, but he doesn't want me having other men seeing me do that, because he says y'all want me to do. Look at the fur. Look at the fur in mass destruction. This is bad. Anyway, because I'm Creole. We don't care. You know what I'm saying? We haven't any problems, you know, sexually. I'd be butt naked all the time if I wasn't gonna get arrested. They would arrest me. Remember, I didn't wear a bra one day and I felt like I was gonna be arrested from decency. Anyway, so you just knead it up. Listen, ladies, you have to fast before you do it, and he has to be clean and ready, and you have to do the bark. So you do the bark, steam him. He lies back. You do this, but you sing. You can sing. You can hum. Humming helps, or you could get this, a cistern. Clear him all over. Okay, and listen, he isn't allowed to ejaculate. Okay, so as excited as he will be, you can massage also the wand. So as you do this, you're going to actually help his scrotum. So you go up and you massage it's like this. It's like going like this and this. And you do that for a little while. Then also you can also massage the side of his wand also, like that. Okay, like that. Okay, and in doing that, you're clearing him, and also you're bringing more circulation. Okay, and doing that once or twice a month is helpful. That will make sure he isn't shedding his seed. So you want to kind of do that. It clears his balls. The oils, the 7 oils, I'll have that tomorrow on Zoom. Can someone remind me? I'll have the 7 oils. I got this from a Sunstar, a magical Sunstar from South America. So for any of you wonderful males who want to learn how to have your wonderful partners help you, you can join us on Patreon tomorrow. Be respectful. Okay, because when we talk about your balls, y'all get excited. But can someone remind me to have the 7 oils that you use? And this oil, you have to sanctify. So this oil has to be under, wait, what do you say? It has to be under sunlight for 24 hours, covered in glass. And then it also has to be exposed to the moon 24 hours. So you only use the oil once a month, once or twice a month. So you have to put the oil, it's a combination platter. So it's beautiful. And when you do that, you resurrect his wand and you make it more magical. And then you aren't to have sex. I think depending on his situation, when you engage with him, you both should be in a state of like clearing or fasting. You know, men, it's a little more difficult. So maybe a 24-hour fast for him. And if you want to create children, it's the best thing to have him do that, and do that like 2 or 3 months before you actually create children. And the type of children that you will usher through your Yoni will be the most amazing ancestors. Okay, we'll talk about tomorrow, but I have to get the 7 oils for you guys. Okay, it's 7 oils. It has to be under the sun, I think, for 24. I have this written down because I got it from Brazil. I think it's under the sun, and then I'll have it all under the sun, and then under the moon, and then you can use the resurrection of the wand. And then it could be a key. Okay, and also we can talk about also when you do the activation, if you're with a loving partner who is willing, able, and wants to be the initiator of a key. Now mind you, you don't need a male to have a key to your Yoni. Okay, so this is just for those who have a mate. Your Yoni hasn't, some of your Yonis can just be unlocked with you. Most of them can be, but if you have a male who's able, he can initiate opening up that key with his wand, if it's magical and healthy. But if it isn't, it isn't necessary for you to open up. So your technology will work regardless. Okay, the power key. Power balls. That's why it's called power balls. You ever listen, y'all? That's why it's called power balls. You ever know that? Powerballs. Maybe that's the lottery. All these balls, right? So for women, and also those who are engaged with other female. Am I allowed to talk about this? We're gonna see if this video stays up, because I might be inappropriate. For females and engage with other females, you can unlock this a little differently, right? Okay. And that's what your organ energy, because women generally, jackpot. Jackpot. L-U-L-I. Y'all gotta have me talking about this all day. For women who are engaged with other women, it's a little different how you activate, but it's actually probably easier because they both have stargates. Now, healthy 2 sea stars, that's why, remember back in the days, the Andromedans and all the others, there weren't any males. So women were able to activate themselves. Remember, they gave birth through parthenogenesis. So that in itself, women are, it's easier for them to activate within the lines of each other, especially if they're having orgasms simultaneously. And the same for women to males. If you're able to orgasmic, it's a little more challenging with a male because it's all timing and you have to know each other well. That's why I say love is the key. Love is the key. Remember that song? Who sings that? Is that Babyface? What's the song, y'all? I'm gonna play that. Love is the key. You got the key. What song is that? Who knows that song? Is that Babyface? No. Love it. Is that Cool in the Gang? No. Powerball in 33 states. Of course. What is it? Who sings that song, y'all? Somebody knows that song. You got the key. Love is the key. Is it Maze? Force MDs. Force MDs. Yes, Force MDs. Thank you, Stephanie. Force MDs. I like that song. Lamont, thank you. I'm going to listen to that song later. Love is the key. Okay? It's 2 men with a partner. So if you're able to orgasm with your male or female partner, you're able to access certain portholes. Okay? But this is something that only the trained, a lot of your tantric practices, anybody engages in tantric movement and practices, this is also very helpful. So if you are for female to female and male to female, these are the 2 that I know, is when 2 females are engaged into physical engagement, sexually, physically, because it's I don't perceive that as sex. It's intimacy, right? Intimacy. If the both of you are engaged, like, remember I told you I'm gonna be what's her name? I'm like that space chick. What's her name? Remember Jane Fonda? Gosh, it's my favorite show. I don't know why I get baby on the brain sometimes. I get it all the time. What's my favorite? Barbarella. Remember when she was having sex? Anyone who watches this, don't judge me. I tell you to go watch Barbarella, but then you judge me like, oh, FleurBrun is a freak. I love Barbarella. I am the Barbarella of today because I'm going to be on my spaceship looking all kinds of breasts and the tubes, the see-through tubes and everything. Anyway, so remember when she was having, she said, oh, remember she was having like intimacy and they had their hands like this? And right, she was sitting in front of him and then she closed her eyes and then they were like, they took a blue pill or something like that. And then she was like, and he was like, no, I want to have old fashioned sex. And she was like, really? Like, so I'm just saying there's a form of enjoying 2 females doing it different because they have 2 stargates. It's gonna be more powerful because they're accessing the portals at the same time. So whatever they manifest from that, also remember this is a matrix. Energy manifests. The reason why the dark Kabbalists use blood rituals and blood magics because they're devoid of having any magic. So they have to parasite off of the energy of blood of children and animals. That's why all these archaic religions, Kumbale, all these religions where they kill chickens and goats, those are forms of low field occult types of practices. Because if you have to parasite off of the animal and you don't have the technology within yourself, that means you're a vampire in itself. Okay, a woman bleeds, so she can use her menses blood to engage in any ritual. She can use what she has herself to be able to access different things. So 2 women together, because they have 2 stargates, when they orgasm together, they literally can manifest a whole lot more. That's why you'll see generally if you see 2 healthy, you know, spiritually healthy women that are engaged physically, because we come from a time where the primordial was only women, they have the ability to open up gates, bigger gates. Okay. Now, a male and a female can do that, but they have to master tantrically how to orgasmic energy, have to have orgasma together. And it has to be a timing thing. You have to know your partner. Your partner would have to know the signs and signatures of the preamps of your orgasm or organism or organ energy. Okay, so if you've been with a partner for a long time, generally you know how each other is able to you know, get to that point, pinnacle point, and one can hold until the other reaches that same point. And this is mastery. That's how, you know, really master tantric teachers. They are some of the highest. You look at their lives, they're like living on mountains. They're so zenned out because they've already mastered opening portals and accessing, you know, different things and manifestation in this breath work. Also, Monique, yeah, breath work with this. So anyway, well, I just remember, can you guys remember to tell me about to get the 7 oils? I got to remember to get that. Okay. So anyway, so the technology, so sun stars having the ability, if you don't have a sea star that can rub these oils on you, you can do it yourself, but you have to be very gingerly. You can't do it too hard. That's why I say a female is a little softer and gingerly. But if you have if you aren't partnered with anyone, you can do it yourself. You kind of need that with the 7 oils. Kind of massage your balls with the 7 oils, the 7 oils, elixirs. Also, just make sure you aren't wearing any tight, you know, those little. My husband's gonna be upset. I'm gonna tell, but the whole time, because my ex played sports, so he liked to walk around in those. Remember those wonderful terry cloth? What are those things called when you take a shower? The jocks do it all the time. They put the things around their waist. What is it? Like a towel? It's a, what is it called? It's a towel. It's like the thing you put around your waist, but it's like it's a terry cloth, and they just put it in. It has the Velcro. He'd walk around the house in that, and he loved it. No, it's not a jock strap. It's the no, it's like a terry cloth. It's a robe, but it's just for the bottom. It's not a jock strap. It's just like a robe. It's like a, oh God. You know how you have a thing, women, we wear it around here when we get out of the shower, but they have it for men just to put around their waist. So it's not so much a sarong, but it's made of towel material. It was made of like, terry cloth. Towelette, it's like that. I forgot what it's called. You know, he'd wear that, and he loved to wear that. So if we go somewhere, he would, like a loincloth. So yeah, he put it on, and he loved to wear that all the time. And it just made him feel like towel kilt or something like that. Yeah, it was very comfortable. Very comfortable. So I suggest sea stars, if you have a husband or a mate or gentleman, sun stars, get one of these things. He loved to wear it. He felt very comfortable. It was a cover up, but it allowed him to breathe. He could walk around in the house with that. It wasn't inappropriate. It just gave him that breathing room all the time. So I just think it's healthy for you to, instead of you wearing underwear in the house, see sun stars. And if you have young children, you know, do as appropriate. But just putting that on, he would wear that all day. Like if he had a game or he did something, he would put that on afterwards and walk around the house in that. And it made him feel really, really comfortable. And he felt healthier. Okay, so I just make that suggestion. I don't think that's anything on the list, but I just think that's healthier for you sun stars to wear instead of wearing underwear all the time. Just like I say to sea stars, our technology, we need to keep that open to be able to access portals, you know, access energy. Sun stars, you have to be able to towel wrap, right? Cubby, thank you. Yeah, just, I think you can get it on. Make sure it's organic material, sun stars. You know, stay away from polyesters and silk. Silk is low vibrational, which I thought was shocking. Stay away from things like that. Make sure it's a natural organic fiber, and wear that when you're in the house in rest, so that you can also, for sun stars, in Florida and hot weather, you know that we always get sun on our skin. Sun stars, just like I tell you, our solar panels have to get sun, you have to get sun on your little nipples, your little areoles. In Florida, well, you know, Florida, it was like a smorgasbord of masculinity, because, woo, let me tell you, you sun stars, when you guys walk around in the sun with no shirt, my God, oh my Lord, I just think you're magical. So in Florida, a lot of times I would see all the men. When I first moved to Florida, some of you already heard this story. When I moved to Florida, 2011, oh, I was in, you know, when you just, because I came from a cold state, so you weren't used to men. I was, you know, I felt like I just entered into like the farm, like a farm where men were just like all around. I was like, is this for real? Holy smoke. I was like, good God. I was like, y'all just walk around looking like, I was like, no wonder everybody gets knocked up here. Holy smoke. They were all walking around looking like lollipops. My God. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's not appropriate. That was a very sexist statement. I apologize. I did not mean to say that. It was, woo. Oh, let me take a drink of water. I'm sorry. Please put a like on the video. Whew. I remember seeing the neighbor. He was like, hey, he was all chocolate. He looked like something. I was like, I thought I had gone to another planet. I was like, oh, he's waving to me with no shirt. oh my God. Yeah, Rio's like that too in Brazil. Brazil, let me tell you. And Bahia. Oh my God. I'm so grateful I had a partner when I was in Brazil, because I understand why that sex is like eating over there. Holy smoke. That's how you get all kinds of demons on you, because, whoo, good Lord. Anyway, I'm sorry. Oh my God. I'm hormonal. I'm so apologize. Anyway. Oh my gosh. Okay, so anyway, so y'all, so let's talk about I can't, someone said to me the reason I don't get invited on shows is because I'm all over the place. Yeah, I am. Because I'm an organic being. That's why. All right, so let's go into the men. You activating yourselves, getting your wand perfectly aligned. Also for sun stars, getting your facial hair into alignment, because that helps you. I don't want you to be like, what's his name? Remember he had his, maybe I shouldn't talk about it. I don't know if some of you saw it though. Anybody from Generation X here? Generation X, you know, we had a chance to watch, what's his name? What's his name again? Lisa Bonet's husband. What's Lisa Bonet's husband again? Y'all oh, Lenny Kravitz. I'm just going to say this, and I'm not telling you to do it, because I had funny feelings about this. Now, Generation X, we already saw this. Generation X, remember when we saw the cover of Lenny Kravitz's CD when he had his genitalia dreadlocked? Do you remember that? Let me see who's Gen X in here. Where are my Gen Xers? Do you guys remember that? Listen, we're going to get into it. Do you remember Misty World? Do you remember that cover? I don't even know. I still have it somewhere. Do you remember the weird feeling you had when you saw it? I'm not going to lie, y'all. Listen. Erica, you didn't see it? Y'all, Renetta, you saw it? Listen, y'all. Put the children out the room. This is not conversation. This isn't after 12, but I'm telling you, we gonna have this discussion, y'all, because we gonna get into it. I don't know who could find that album cover. I'm not gonna look for it. Melissa, can you bring that up for tomorrow's Zoom? Melissa, can you find that picture for tomorrow's Zoom? Gen X is, yo, y'all. Wait, let me clear my... Y'all, holy, okay, now, let me explain some, y'all. I'm sorry, because I'm gonna keep it real. I gotta keep it real. it's so perverted, but it's so crazy because anybody who saw that album cover with Lenny Kravitz and he had his genitalia dreaded, you cannot lie. Do not lie on here. You know I'm gonna keep it real because I'm Creole and I'm old school and I'm gonna keep it real and I'm a Sag. When I first saw the album cover, I had a weird kind of horny. It was perverted. It was like being attracted to something that was scary. I was embarrassed. I was like, what? It was like a weird kind of like, you ever find something sexy that's so weird that you don't even want to tell anybody? I was like, what the heck is that? I felt like I was being like charmed. I felt like somebody was putting me under a spell. I felt like something was wrong. I was like, wait a second. I was like, how did you get dreadlocks? I don't know what it was. And I know it wasn't just me because I saw it and I was like, what the heck is that? It was shock value, but it was some weird primal sexual thing that you've never seen before. And you said to yourself, what the frick is that? It was the sexiest, disgusting, most primal cover I haven't seen a cover like that since. I haven't seen anybody pull that off like Lenny Kravitz. He showed his pubes, y'all, and it was like dreaded up. I felt like I was falling off the planet. I felt like I was gonna get arrested for the dirty thoughts that were in my mind. I was like, I wanted to find things in the jungle. I wanted to look. I'm a jungle brother, a smooth, cool brother, and I'm a jungle brother, a smooth, cool brother. And I've been so many. I can't. Wait a second. I can't. I'm gonna get kicked offline. This is no. Nobody should invite me on their platform. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dreads of mass destruction, y'all. I didn't even know you're supposed to have dreads like that down there. I even wonder, does he still have dreads there? I wanted to uncover. Hello? Hello, is anybody in there? Oh, wait, you said they're extensions? Resin shots and their extensions. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna stop. I'm sorry, if you feel like I'm perverted, you probably should unsubscribe from me because it just doesn't get better. You like women with a lot of hair? Like it's kind of probably that same feeling. It's like a primal feeling. Like, where's that wabbit? Rise and Shine said that. Ooh, he gonna have to incense down there, cause I'm telling you, he gonna have to incense down there, cause that's like a woolly mammoth. Like you going through the jungle, be like, woo doo doo doo. Oh my gosh, I gotta. Hey, Jose, I'm gonna behave myself. All the sun stars are coming on. It's Sasquatch. You said you found. Said they found Sasquatch. Oh my God. Okay, y'all. I don't know if you can put a like on the video. We gone too far. I was talking about the technology, and I just had that Bigfoot. Found Bigfoot. Oh. Sun stars, I apologize. Let me take a sip. I can't. Okay, y'all. I tried to behave. I did. But I thought of his dreadlocks on his pubes, and I was scared, but I was excited, and I wanted to know what was underneath there. So, Chewbacca, yo, taste this. Yo, okay, hold on. This is. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't be let out in public. You know. We're trying to keep on topic, but the ball's mass. That's not even Miss Destruction. Anyway, so we're talking about Lenny Kravitz's pubic hair was in dreadlocks, and the weird sexual allurement, like a freaky kind of like some sort of taboo that you didn't even know you had. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Melissa put the picture in there, y'all. Melissa put the picture, y'all. I didn't tell you to go look. Don't look if you have issues, don't go look. Don't look and be like, FleurBrun is perverted. So if I'm perverted, don't look at the picture, okay? Because that picture is going to make you see things. I'm telling you. When I saw that picture, I knew something was going on in me. I was like, why would I have a weird kind of attraction to that? They was long, right, AJ? I was like, what? What? I miss you too, Jose. Okay, so why did I bring this up? I forgot. Why I brought this out was because that is a part of the nature. I think things that were meant to, because you have to think in itself, when males aren't supposed to be circumcised, there has to be something that protects them, right? So we're born in nature, and everything that we need protects us. Everything that we are naturally protects us. Like if you have coily hair, naturally your coily hair will dread. Anybody who has curly hair, even lunars, when you have really thick hair, what does it do? Because I have my girlfriends who have little girls that are like, that's like a rat's nest when their hair gets really, the snappy nappy dug out. That's what I'm saying, right? It gets like these dreads. So you say to yourself, if that is the way that our technology, our bodies are supposed to be, why wouldn't it be like that? Like what would make us shave and circumcise and do things that would atrophy or stunt our natural technology? So when I looked at it, my primal feelings about it were kind of like, it was an attractive, but it was like a deep-seated attraction. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how did men walk back in the days without clothes? Because remember, you don't see a fox putting on clothes. Do you see a duck putting on clothes? Do you see a cow putting on clothes? Do you see a chicken putting on clothes? Do you see a cat putting on clothes? When cats are born, do they automatically put a clothes on? Do you see you understand? So wouldn't we be created exactly how we are for the terrains we come from? Like even when you see women with really long straight hair and they have really, really stringy hair, but it grows really long, that's warmth. That's to put around them. So in cooler, wet areas, and also their hair is more flank. So the hair falls down, allowing for them to have more protection. And also usually women who have very straight hair that's very long like that, they usually have little fine hairs on their face. It's to keep them warm. Women who come from more jungle areas, you'll see women similar to myself, because I consider myself to be a jungle chick, right? So similar to me, we come from hot regions. So you see us with like more copper reddish skin, and then you'll see our hair like coily and curly. And because we're in wetter areas, our hair tends to be a little more coily this way than up. But then when you get to women from drier areas, their hair is more protective this way to protect their hair from the sun rays. So their hair is beautiful, coily upward to protect them, but they don't need any hair in their skin. So their hair doesn't have to get super long. It just has to grow upward to protect their skull, and their skin has to be totally clear. So they don't have hair in their skin, and their noses are wider because they need more oxygen to come in because they come from hotter areas. Whereas if they come from the mountains and they're lighter skin with straighter hair, their noses tend to be a little thinner because the air is very thin. So you understand? So how we showed up, why did we start wearing clothing? And that's why I say with Lenny Kravitz and his dreadlocked pubes, there was a weird attraction to it, because in it itself, if the genitalia is very sensitive, like when you touch a man after he has an erection, after he has an orgasm, it's really sensitive. And then if you hurt him or kick him or something like that, it hurts his genitalia. Why wouldn't he have something, a natural thing that occurs to protect his genitalia? We didn't always put on clothes. So why wouldn't the dreadlocks be something that probably is more natural, especially to men who have coily? Because remember, Lenny Kravitz is mixed. So that type of hair texture would come with someone who comes from an area maybe like Turkey, Morocco, more to the Middle East, or even maybe the Solomon Islands, okay? Because brown men who have coily hair that are mostly African, they don't have as much hair down there. It's hair, but it's not as long. It doesn't, but I wonder if it's dreadlocks, maybe it gets longer. But it would protect their genitalia. So in it itself, wouldn't you think that it would probably be something that men did back in the days to protect their wands? They didn't put clothing on. So what naturally happened is that they naturally grew hair that was more thick, that protected that area. And the same with women. Women have coily hair or thicker hair. Even a very lunar woman has thicker hair in her genitalia, right? So it protects her yoni, so it's nothing can get inside. So it's kind of thick until something kind of, you know, when she engages, it opens up, but it's kind of thick on the outside. So you have to think to yourself, we have to remember that if we were born exactly as we were supposed to be, with the technology, with everything in alignment, our bodies would naturally do things. Like I said, the dreadlocks, even though we laugh about it and it was a joke, wouldn't it make sense that a man would have a natural way to barrier, not only just the foreskin, but something to barrier so that things wouldn't hurt him? I'm just saying we need to think about that. Just as a form of protection. You know, I think we were indoctrinated to thinking all these things, but why are we indoctrinated to think that circumcising your boys is normal? Like, why would you take the very skin from over his wand that would protect him? Because it makes him hypersensitive when you take away the foreskin. Why would we cut off his hair down there when that hair is meant to protect that area? Also, people who have more hair down in their pubic area have more protection from venereal diseases. Just like when you have more hair in your nose, you have less of a tendency to get allergies because you have a barrier between what's coming in, or like a filter. So I'm just saying, I just put that out there. You don't have to believe what I say, but I'm just saying I'm putting things out there because I think a lot of the things that are hampering our biosphere, our technology, are those indoctrinated, those outside indoctrinations, those perpetuate indoctrinations that are set out there to make us think that our bodies aren't capable of self-sustaining. Okay? So I'm just saying that, like the magnetic field around the straight, Chica Rocca says the magnetic field around a straight wire is not very strong, but if the wire is wrapped in a coil, there we go, the field produced is in each turn of the coil adds up to create a stronger magnetic field. Beautiful. Thank you, Chica Rocca. Beautiful explanation. So I'm just saying, it's very, you said hairy teeth. Who has hairy teeth? There's people with hairy teeth? Do people have hairy teeth? Can someone verify that? Can someone verify if they have hairy teeth? I've never heard of that. Do people grow hair in their teeth? Maybe they do. Is that true? Well, listen, anything could be possible, right? We're living on a planet of the... we're living in the planet of craziness, right? I never heard of it, but I'm assuming that could be possible. I think they meant something else. No, I think they meant that people have hairy teeth. Whales have bristles and like teeth. That's true. Amanda said, yeah, whale people. Oh, Uranus. What if that's true? Wow. What if we have people that are like hybrid with whales? And they have like hairy teeth. Wow, that's interesting. I'm sure they exist. You know, that would be interesting to go on a like a goose chase with that. Baleen. Okay, anyway, so this video is getting long, so I don't want to, and it's getting dark outside, as you see. Oh, look how pretty it is. It's pretty outside right now. Okay, so Let's go into what happens in May. So males, you can also enhance yourself by growing your beards, keeping your hair long or dreads, allowing your hair to naturally coil or become as it naturally is. Like if you ever see even the best surfers, if you ever notice the people who have the best balance with males tend to keep their hair untamed. Like, you ever notice the surfers? Big up to all the surfers in the house, lunar or the indigenous or Africans. You ever notice they always, the best surfers I found, and this is my opinion, it doesn't mean it's right, always have their hair like untamed, like just long and just let it grow. Because their balance is on. You know, their balance, their antennas are working, so their balance is perfect. It's like a cat with whiskers. You know, a cat with whiskers, they use their whiskers to kind of balance themselves out. It's kind of that way. So I just say let your technology grow. So also sea stars, when we talk about the technology of our Yoniverse, letting your because remember, they're perpetuating for you to go and get a Brazilian, for you to go get your landing strips. I've done it. But we talked about this before. Many of you who've known me for years said one of the ways that you can, if a relationship is kind of iffy or off, keeping your untamed, you know, you can make it look a little more appropriate, keep it nice and hygienic, but that actually helps your pheromones to keep you alluring to your partnerships, because your pheromones matter. And also, by having the hair there, you're less likely to get diseases. You're going to have healthier yoni. You'll have long-term fertility. Women who keep that all there have healthier everything. So that in itself is perfect technology, and you want to protect your Stargate. Okay, so if he's able to make it through, did you ever see the Martin? And he was like shaving off the no, that was what was that Scary Movie? Remember he was shaving? Was that Scary Movie when he was like shaving through all her all the hair is popping off? He's shaving down there. I think it was Scary Movie, right? Yeah, keeping that perfectly down there is healthier. I've known women who were much more like kept the hair underneath their arms, kept the hair on their body, and they seem to be more harmonic. And also, when engaging in physical interface, it's much more you're much more sensitive when you have oh wait you're much more sensitive when you have hair on. So when you engage, as soon as you engage, there's much more hypersensitivity, meaning that you're much more able to achieve an orgasm or organ energy, because that there is covered and it isn't constantly being shaved and numbed. You know, if something is constantly being numbed, you know, touched too much or what used to be sensitive and constantly being touched or moved around, it becomes numb. So when you have hair down there, even with males or females, males have their foreskin, when it's pulled back, and even with a woman, when her hair is down there, as soon as someone touches her, like inside the Stargate, it's hypersensitive and she can achieve orgasm better. Okay. All right, y'all. I think I've gone too far. I'm sorry this video was all like all over the place. Anyway, the Stargate, your Stargate technology is about to be activated. We will do the count up, 5, 6, 7, and then blast off in June. Okay, so I want many of you to take that in consideration. Do what you do, whatever drives you inside. Really listen to your inner consciousness that kind of speaks to what you should do and guides you. Also, if those of you who are joining us in the fast, the 30-day fast, we'll be joining. We'll be starting and talking about it tomorrow. If you want to join us on Zoom, on Patreon, by all means, join us on Patreon. We'll be going on early tomorrow. You'll have a list of amazing things that will support you during this to make your technology, your yoni space, your womanship be efficient. Okay, so oh, the eclipse. Thank you, the truth. The eclipse is also happening on the 20th of this month. And why this is important, because that is the kinetic energy, that is the magnetism that will be the catalyst to the igniting your technology. The solar eclipse is on the 20th. This solar eclipse will be more powerful than ever. It's literally going to be driving everyone to excel to their highest potentiality. So it's important for everyone to make sure that during this time before the eclipse, you kind of declutter, clear out, make sure you are staying in your highest vibrational frequency. Disallow those empty seeders, NPCs, loopers from attaching to you at this time, because they may be trying to attach to your energetic field to either cap you or to limit the amount of expansion that you have. Also for partnerships, if in fact you aren't partnering, I would say to abstain from having any activity. If you have activity that you're married or you have a partnership, both of you should definitely be doing the fasting, the clearing together, working together to become more harmonic, doing the, oh, thank you, Naru. I appreciate it. Thank you, my love. Oh, that's sweet. Thank you for the donation. Definitely you should both be clearing yourselves for this time. I mean, the fact that you know now that you are the clearest form and the purest form of technology. Clear everything. If you can, kind of refrain from, I won't be doing coffee, any chiefing, doing anything outside of yourself is unnecessary. Your technology is efficient on its own, and so long as you allow yourself to acknowledge, clear, and amplify whatever energies is coming in on the 20th, this will be magical, okay? And also we have the lunar eclipse happening on the 5th as well. So you're going to be taking the energies from the solar and literally working with that, and working with also the lunar. We'll be in fast. So I hope everybody joins us tomorrow. Like I said, we'll be on Zoom early. And we'll have definitely suggestions of clothing to wear during this time, suggestions on the different types of fasts we'll be engaging with, and we'll be having fun all the time in a support system. All right, y'all. So I hope this video was okay. We were kind of all over the place. Again, I apologize. It's a lot of fun talking to you. And look, it gets dark at this time. I love that we kind of talk when it's light and dark, right? We get to have sorry, it gets dark. I have the purple light on at this time. But it was a lot of fun. I always have fun with you. I always have fun with you this day. And again, if you feel this was something that you enjoyed, always put a like on the video. And again, you can join us. All right. So happy, blissful activation. And I hope to hear at all the stargates opening up and seeing what this will bring to this holographic existence. All right, y'all. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.